everybody. Welcome to the Todd and Erin daily stream.
I never would have dreamt of such a thing. I never would have dared dream of such a thing.
No, you know, first of all,
so amazing.
We have been teased. We have been taunted like a burlesque show. First, years ago, it started at Olive Garden.
Yeah.
With a little bit of, hey, would you like pasta bowl for 12 months? Would you like it? And how much was it? It was like $100, right?
Yeah, it's $100 a piece. Right. It's still $100, and it sells out literally like in less than a second. They had 200,000 passes that they put out.
Which means
2018, and they sold out in literally a second.
Which means you can go to Olive Garden.
Any Olive Garden. You may sit down and say, "Bring me your salad bowl, my good man.
Or
bring me your breadsticks."
Or
and then I would like my pasta.
Right.
Today I shall have snow crab and fettuccine.
I would like a wheelbarrow for someone to carry me to my car, my chariot, and dump me in the trunk.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Now, think about this. I always thought about this, is that if you were a college student,
you do love these.
What a lifesaver this would be. I went through college. I was hungry all the time.
He shot animals for actual food, so this should tell you something about Todd's life in college.
I don't want to harm any more squirrels, but it was Maine, okay? I'm just going to go with it. So anyway, the point is for $100 you could go to dinner or lunch anytime you wanted to save yourself from ramen noodles.
How awesome would that be?
And then, after this, the little taunt thing, then it was like, hey, guess what else we have?
How can we possibly up the ante here?
Shut up. What? And then they came out with their new...
This is brand new. It's the Lifetime Pasta Pass. Lifetime. You get the sucker for the rest of your life. You're eating Olive Garden, and it's $400.
So $400
for the rest of your freaking life.
Rest of your life. So you get pasta, bread.
I would be the person who got hit by a bus like the next day, and it won't be like Social Security where they'll like transfer it to your next of kin. I know that they would just go, "Oh, that's a shame you got hit by a bus."
It's almost like a challenge, just to see how long you last. Just eating
I have to hold
fettuccine.
On because I have more pasta.
Fettuccine will kill you faster than you can eat it.
But you know what, though? There's a lot of locale options. There's total stuff to do. Now, it's kind of tricky. This is how it's working if you think you want to do it.
All right.
This is August 15th, like tomorrow, if you're watching this live. August 15th at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time sharp, which would be 12 noon our time.
This is like trying to get concert tickets.
You hover like a vulture. And when you get on and you knock on there and you go for the annual pasta pass.
Probably go and pre-qualify right now.
Out of those original annual pasta passes, what they're going to do is they're going to pull 50 of those at random.
Yes.
And they are going to go, would you like to up the ante to the lifetime pass for an
another
additional
400, so $500.
No, 300 for an additional 300.
Okay, 300.
And no one in their right friggin' mind is going, I can't eat that much.
You have to say yes.
Well, naturally. I mean, oh my God, yes, of course. Can you imagine? The world would be your oyster.
Oh my!
Or at least Olive Garden would.
You can imagine you could take a date there and she could just watch you eat your food, and then she'd pay for her own.
And you'd wonder why that was the last date you'd ever had in your lifetime.
Why are you so lonely and untouched?
Tell me that would not be awesome, though. I would go with someone just on principle to watch them flash the pass.
Oh
and
my
people
gosh.
go, it's the lifetime pass.
Sorry. Lifetime. Pasta. Me. Oh,
I shall bypass the lines with my lifetime pass.
You just...
You would wallow in your power like
all access pass. All access pass, yes. Criminals are getting stupider as we speak.
Oh, I know, but it just makes me so happy I can't even stand it. Okay, first of all, text message goes to the wrong person.
Text what?
But it's a friendly exchange.
Oh, text message.
It's a text message. The initial message said, hey, you want to go to the game tonight? It won't even cost you a hot dog and a soda. And the person texted back and said, hey, thank you so much for the offer. I think you've got the wrong person. Mm-hmm. So the person who sent the initial message said, no, babe, of course I know you. We got high together last night. Don't you remember? And sent the images of getting high last night.
Ah, there you go.
And hoping to, I guess, perhaps spark the memory of the person they believed that they were texting.
I think rekindle is the word.
This is when the man who received the text message finally held up his badge, because he was a member of the Winfield, Missouri Police Department. Held up his badge sitting at his desk and said, "I'm pretty sure I wasn't the one getting high with you last night. Do I still have an invitation to the game?" Question mark.
Would you still like to go?
There was, of course, no answer. He posted it up on Facebook with the caption, like, "I'm a little disappointed I didn't get that return invitation." Everyone was, like, massively applauding, and one person said, "I want to marry this officer."
Yeah,
someone else had to go, "I'm sorry, he's engaged."
Because the other guy would have eaten all hot dogs anyway.
Tell me that's not hysterical, though.
That is funny.
All right, here's the one where anyone who has never perhaps been drunk will not understand this concept, or perhaps you've been fortunate enough not to be too drunk and will never have to live this through, but there is a man facing a host of charges down in Saratoga Springs.
Saratoga Springs, Utah.
And that's because he was walking down the street wearing a Man-Thong and a sign around his neck. And the initial phone call came in from a rattled driver with whom he had jumped in front of them wearing his sign around his neck and his Man-Thong. And so police, of course, tracked down the man who was still strolling down the middle of the road.
The big question here.
Now, he was eventually run down, and this is 27-year-old Wesley Alexander Sawyer with a fabulous mugshot.
Fabulous name.
Fabulous. And the police officer said, "Can I get your name?" He goes, "Ryan." It continued on, and he says, "I'm going to have to ask you to turn around so I can put handcuffs on you for safety purposes." Also, you're wearing a Man-Thong. This is, of course, when Sawyer made a run for it, and then a fight broke out, and then there was tasering and some other things like that.
I have a quick thing. There's got to be a moment, even in a cop's life, where here is this naked person running away from you.
In a Man-Thong.
I'm not done yet. Is running away from you and realizing that you have to do the full tackle.
Why couldn't you have just let me put that?
Now the good news is that a taser has to hit the skin. So sometimes when you have bulky clothing on,
that wouldn't have been a problem in this case.
But in this case, it was a target-rich environment is what they call it. Okay, so you have a full body tackle on a naked guy.
You're forgetting the
To me, not so good.
The officer then spoke to him and said, "Tell me what's going on." He says, "I'm a 12-year-old boy who doesn't want to hurt anyone." The officer said, "I could smell a strong smell of alcohol coming from," and asked how much he drank, and he said, "I haven't touched a drop because I'm 12.
How old was
It's
this?
unclear why Sawyer was wearing only a Man-Thong. He was 27. Or what the sign around his neck said, but since he's currently in Utah County Jail, I guess they can figure that one out.
I think we need to find out more. Because we need to find out what the sign said.
Right? Maybe that would have tied the whole thing together and we all would have went,
And then
of
we
course.
can have some...
Now this makes sense to me.
And now we can have some relief. We can, yeah.
Because you know you're going to sit there and think about it. We're all going, why?
This is a story that once I tell you one fact of it, it will all make sense.
Well, that's glad, because after the last story making no sense, this will be good.
Okay.
Okay.
So, a blood-covered hotel room. Tassia
This isn't starting well.
had checked in for the night.
Okay.
The stained sheets and towels trailed over the bed. The mess dribbled out from wounds in her back. It smelled like sweat of iron or something else. Now all I have to say is the word Bulgaria. And you go, oh, Holiday Inn. Okay. This.
Well, that makes you okay, sure.
Oh yeah, you're like, oh okay, freaking stay miles. Yeah, I got that. So basically, what she did, this is a new thing, and you remember bleeding and stuff. I remember in some reading I did with John Adams when he was the president of the United States.
Oh yeah, when they leached them,
They were leeching and bleeding their children because they got, I believe, scarlet fever.
Yeah, there was fevers and all kinds of other things that.
Because there was disease in the blood, you had too much blood, and they had to get it out, and so at one point they used leeches. Well,
they've used leeches since the Egyptian times, and one of the reasons they do that versus cutting is because the leeches could withdraw a fairly substantial amount of fluid, but when you popped them out, they had a coagulant that would stop the bleeding, so it was much more efficient than a knife.
Ew. So basically,
that's come back in vogue.
Here, you hold this just for a second. Tell them more about bleeding. I'm going to take the food away from the dog. I love you, Clippers. I'll feed you in a bit.
Earlier that day, she and her boyfriend had clambered up a remote hilltop outside the city of Karzal, searching for a special lake that was renowned among certain locals. When they came across a stand of trees covered in ribbons, they knew they'd found it. It was the peak of summer, and the sun had turned a usually wide lake into rather a dried-up swamp.
Okay, now, my turn. So, what they did is they took their feet and they put it in the mud.
I was doing very well.
And waited, wiggling their toes.
Enticingly.
Until the leeches attached themselves. Now, this lake is known for having high-quality leeches, of course, being so close to the Holiday Inn.
Well, there's a series of professional practitioners called hydrotherapists.
Yeah, right.
Hydrotherapists.
Yeah,
who promote leech therapy for a long list of medical conditions from asthma to infertility. Mm-hmm. There's actually places.
Oh, where do you put them?
Like the
wait. Okay, go
There's
ahead.
actually places like the Academy of Hydrotherapy in Las Vegas, which charge $10,000 for a full course of leeching.
And what does it take to become one of these
people? But what
people?
they say is really anyone can be certified in the practice. Some hydrotherapists specialize in beauty treatments like leech facials, in which the bloody contents of a leech's stomach after it is feasted on some other portion of your anatomy are then spread over your skin in a sticky mask that is supposed to reduce wrinkles and promote glowing skin.
You know what? Just stay out of the sun and use sunscreen. That's my suggestion. Too late for me, but for you, leave the leeches out of it. It just seems like so extreme. But the word Bulgaria, doesn't that just make you go,
oh, okay.
Oh, yeah, Bulgaria. Well, of course. All right.
Let's move back to real medicine. Tell me something good. This is such a great story. Oh, my God, this is so great. Okay, so one of my favorite people is Dr. Molly Mears. I adore her because she was pregnant in medical school, which I think you can all imagine would be unimaginable. And like during her residency, she was hugely pregnant and waddling around. And she's an OBGYN. She was then.
They work hours that are crazy.
Unimaginable hours. So imagine doing that and you were pregnant and everything else that goes with it. Well, God bless her. Amanda Hess, an obstetrician gynecologist from Frankfort, Kentucky, had checked into the Frankfort Regional Medical Center as a patient, put on her hospital gown, and she was moments away from having her labor started.
Now they were going to induce her because they were concerned.
Yeah.
They were concerned about her. So she knows the routine. She knows everyone. She puts the gown on, and then lays in the bed and just goes, all right, let's do this. Let's have a baby.
Well, in the next door room, though, this poor woman is wailing in pain. Now, I can imagine. I've been on a maternity ward, and every time I heard her scream, I'm like, honey, you can scream louder. I am here for you. I will stand with you on this.
And your husband is a son of a...
But the misery was just so heartbreaking that Dr. Hess managed to drag herself out of bed, and she took a look at the woman in the next room, who happened to be Lee Halliday Johnson,
right,
who was one of her patients. As a matter of fact, she had just seen her like a week before.
Right, and she was in distress.
Now she was having a terrible time. The baby was supposed to come, but the attending doctor was out of the hospital on a break, and the nurses are going, oh crap, because it's turning serious.
The baby's in trouble.
Yeah. So Hess jumps in. She says, I just put on another gown to cover up my backside and then put some booties over my shoes to keep from getting any fluid and all that stuff on me, and went down to her room.
Because she still is pregnant out to here.
She said the funny thing is I'd actually taken a call the day before, so really I thought I was working up to the last minute, but this is really the last minute.
This is ridiculous.
And this poor woman, so she goes in, and and Halliday Johnson's like, I wasn't being quiet about the fact that it was really hard for me to push, but I felt so bad when I saw that she had staggered out of bed. But sure enough, she said, with my gown flapping around my backside. She delivered the baby, and so baby and mom were doing fine.
And then went
Dr.
back.
Hess was induced,
Oh my
and
God.
she's doing fine. But it's just the concept that hugely pregnant that number one can see your feet enough to put protective booties on them, and then
Good for you.
go in and deliver this baby.
Good for you.
It's like, you rock.
Good job.
I mean, seriously.
I want to talk about common experiences that we have all had our cars broken into. Now,
Repeatedly.
Erin and I have a thing that we've followed for the last 15 years, which was just never lock your car.
They're going to break the windows anyway, and we have $1,000 deductible. Just leave the car open.
And there's nothing in the car. We don't
one
leave
less
stuff in
thing.
the car. Do you leave stuff in the car? We've learned
We should
a
not leave
couple
stuff
times.
in the car.
Don't leave stuff in the car, and so that's the whole deal, right? So Alex Rodriguez,
A-Rod.
famous baseball player, was doing some commentary Saturday
Isn't
night.
he's with Jennifer Lopez, right? Yeah. Yeah.
I'm talking sports, girl. Okay.
I'm sorry, I just thought J-Lo was relevant.
I don't know baseball. Saturday night baseball in San Francisco, and he went there and worked and stuff, and he got together with a bunch of friends. They were he called it Giants game, and afterwards on ESPN, and afterwards he said, "Hey, let's go out, let's get some dinner." You know, I'm A-Rod. I don't think he talks like that. I think he has a different accent, perhaps, and he's shorter.
Kind of Miami-esque.
So they go out and they go and have dinner, and it's a great time and stuff like that. And the next morning, because he left his car, by the stadium, and he goes back, and the windows have been broken out, and he had been robbed. His car had been vandalized.
I'm sorry, you're leaving it out of the stadium?
True.
Yeah.
His contents. An estimated $500,000 worth of items were missing.
No, come on. I don't care how much money you have. You don't.
Per the report, someone allegedly broke into his car between 9 p.m. and 11 p.m. that night, and at least 5 hours after the first pitch had been thrown, a camera, laptop, miscellaneous jewelry, a bag was reported stolen, worth around $500,000.
How much could your laptop and your camera be?
No,
I'm sure men with bling, congratulations, but how much?
Okay, so stop. Let's go through it. Let's say a nice laptop, a really nice laptop. Let's like $3,000.
Well, let's say 5. Maybe he has one of the beautiful MacBooks or something pretty.
Okay.
Cameras, how expensive can a camera go? Probably unimaginable.
Depends on what he has.
Probably everything.
It's not his phone, so imagine another $5,000 or so.
Really, you had that much bling, A-Rod, and you left it in the car?
Oh, there was a bag too, so the bag must have been filled with $490,000.
That seems to me improbable. I'm just saying.
Who would leave a vehicle
with $500,000 worth of crap in it?
How much money do you have? Whoa, wait, it's A-Rod.
Well, it is A-Rod.
Yeah, there you go.
But still.
Couch change.
But still, seriously.
All right, tell me about the hotel.
Hotel no-nos, you've got it there.
Okay.
Well,
things not to do in a hotel.
This is the travel time, and this is actually a friend of mine was talking to me about this because she still is one of the managers at a downtown hotel, which shall remain nameless, but is very beautiful. And every time we talk, she's got a new horror story for me.
Which one?
But anyway, I used to work in the
Starts
concierge
with an H.
section when I was in college. I worked in the concierge section of one of the hotels, and so I heard every horror story and all the god awful things that guests can do. But it's like some things are just
first one.
Some of them are like common sense.
Oh, we've done one of these.
But these are the most offensive ones.
We've done one of these.
What?
Oh. First of all, wearing your bathrobe out and about. Don't.
No, I have never worn my bathrobe out of the room. Maybe you did, but I have not.
No, I have not.
Neither have I.
This is not the one I was talking about.
Okay, what was the next?
And the other thing is, if your hotel has a bleach pool, is it okay to walk to your pool with your bathrobe on?
I've seen that. It really depends on the bathrobe. Some of the bathrooms are really short, and if you're sitting there at the buffet pulling stuff up and you've got a bathrobe not covering your fanny, it's a little...
Snapping your fingers at the staff. We have not done this.
Oh, why don't you just go kill yourself right now?
In Peru, they do this.
I'd almost prefer that to the snapping. I'm sorry.
I would too.
I can't even imagine.
We haven't done that.
Why don't you just throw a peanut at my head? Can you be more degrading?
Turn your kids loose in the hallway, like The Shining, on their tricycles. Just don't do it. Letting them
Just
scream.
screaming. You don't care because they're out of the room.
Down, up and down. It's like open the door, trip them, shut your door. That's all you need to do. Take care of the problem. Crowding the check-in area. It's not a place to congregate in front of where people are have luggage and they're trying to
Well, it's
get
also
it. Not
like the pharmacy where there's people who lean right over you. You're like, I'm talking about like
medicine.
Something here.
Right.
It's the same way. You don't want to have people looking over your shoulder while you're handing over your credit cards and stuff. That's
Or in the supermarket where they...
Oh, I hate that.
And you're like,
yeah.
Yo.
Just personal space. Okay, what else?
All right, there's the one we do. This says demanding. We don't demand. We ask. Ask for early check-in. We do.
All the time.
Oh, we do. Because, you know, your flight gets in and you're tired or you want to do whatever. And, you know, now people with Airbnb and all the different services that they have now, people are a little more accommodating than larger hotels and stuff. But, you know, you can always drop your stuff off and take off for a while. But yeah, we do that.
We've done that a lot.
Okay.
I'm very sorry.
Over reserving. This is like restaurant stuff. Over reserving for 15.
I want a table for 27 just in case someone shows up.
And you have 6.
That's mean.
That's mean to the wait staff because they have to rearrange the room.
Trashing your room. Oh, I cannot tell you how many rooms I have been in where...
Like you're a rock band?
Yeah. I don't know who you think you are, but you're not Van Halen. And even
No.
Van Halen, who I've actually had as guests many times, I did never trash their own rooms. They were very polite and they put dishes out neatly and they didn't throw anything against the walls. But there were many, many other people who did.
And swearing. No swearing. And no naked swimming in the pool. That's basically it.
Why would you do that? No one wants to see that.
There's not enough chlorine.
No, there really isn't.
There isn't.
So anyway, if you are staying in a hotel this fall, maybe a last gasp for summer, maybe think about the people who work there.
That's right.
Like I was as a starving college student who had to take care of that room.
Erin always tips. Erin always tips when you leave a room.
Yeah, because it's so nice to go in there and find something because housekeeping never gets anything good.
There you go.
They don't.
There you go. All right, you guys have a great day, a great week.
Do you know what I have?
No.
I was talking to April, Nothing Bundt Cakes, 10489 South State Street in Sandy, Nothing Bundt Cakes. She said, would you like to give away some cakes? So today I have a glorious, large, gigantic cake, and you can have one of their oh-so-tasty flavors. You just need to say a code word because you suffered through the end of the show.
What's the code word? Tell me.
What should it be?
Code word is yummy.
Would that be with 2 M's? Or?
No. The code word is Erin's going to take the cake and eat it alone in the basement. So we're going to go with yummy.
Because that one's too hard to spell.
What's this empty box doing down here, he says.
From last year.
Yeah, sure.
Old photos.
Yummy. Yummy is the word.
We'll announce the winner tonight and I'll contact you and you have a glorious Nothing Bundt Cake. 10489 South State Street in Sandy.
There you go. Have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow on the Todd and Erin Daily Stream.
I don't eat all of them all the time. Mostly, though. Vast majority of the time I have hidden them from you.